movement was begun by a scientist who discovered, quite by accident, these signals being sent. We have been lulled into a trance. Please understand, they are safe as long as they are not discovered.
They want their weapon.
Look out for Charlie.
I want that son of a bitch dead.
Something amazing happened, and what that is this guy, Death Harp Productions. He put out sort of a movie/documentary called Something is in the Woods, which he's calling the full director's cut, as you can see here. Within this, he records through the whole thing. It's 36 minutes long. And what is awesome about this is there is no speech. I have been waiting for something to happen like this in the woods for a long time. Because if I found anything in this, no one could blame it on the neighbors or someone in a tree pointing something at them or some bullshit like that. It would be something amazing. Usually, I get angry when people do like a whole video and don't talk through it. But in this case, it's perfect because there is no sound interference. Usually when someone talks and they're out in the woods, I have to wait for that 5-10 seconds and find it where there's no speech and just catch that audio, and I only have that to work with. Where with this, I've got like 30 minutes total to work with while the camera's rolling, and that is just amazing. And what I found blows the lid off this missing 411 stuff. Now, I don't think it's always the same thing. Most of it are these weapons. And what I believe is that somebody with a kind heart at one time designed these weapons to seismically and sonically find people that were out in the middle of nowhere. And you could actually guide them back with this technology, right? But as with everything else, it's been weaponized. And what they are doing is they are using it to scare people off course, scare them away, make them think that people are following them through woods or creatures are following them through areas and throwing them way off course. And brother, I have to thank you so much for posting this and putting this up online. And when you hear what's in your audio, it is just an amazing thing. What I believe this is not a case where somebody would just go missing or vanish, but this would be a case where they tried to scare him off course, scare him to run to somewhere that he wasn't comfortable with, or get him turned around so he would become lost in the woods. That's what they do a lot of the time. And when you hear a lot of these missing 411 cases where the person survives, a lot of the time they recount that something or somebody or people were after them. And a lot of times they heard them, but they didn't see them. Now I'm going to show you the audio. Here we go. I've said this a million times, but when you're listening to this stuff, don't listen to it on your speaker of your phone. Use headphones or good speakers. Don't use garbage. This is a clip where he plays an area back at real-time speed where he felt like he was shoved, like something hit him in the back. That's later on in the video. I want you to hear this. This is an amazing thing. So let's just listen to it one time as it is once. Let's check it out. So what was that? Were those squirrels? Were those deer? Were those aliens trying to sound like people? No! That was communication. Those were people. Let's play it again. That is nefarious communication. And right here, it robotically says, right above his head. I'm going to loop it. And the awesome thing about this is that he is out in the middle of nowhere. It can't be the neighbors. It can't be somebody hiding in a tree pointing something at you. This is in the air. It's weaponized. So what is this and what are they doing? They're trying at this point to hit him with V2K. Check this out. I'm going to loop this and just play it a couple times so you can hear it. Okay, what it says there is I can try to stop his phone robotically. I can try to stop his phone, because that is how this audio gets recorded. It doesn't sound like a guy just talking. It's not normal speech. The inflection is weird. It is a digital inflection. Let's listen to it again. Try to stop his phone. I can try to stop his phone.
Holy shit.
Now let's try this version of it. See what it sounds like. It's higher pitched. I can try to stop his phone. That's what it's saying. This video is littered with this audio. I haven't even started with this. There is going to be a part 2 and a part 3 to this, just like Vegas. This is crazy. Like, I immediately heard it, but when I got this stuff cranked up and started going at it and adjusting the frequency, I was jaw dropped, and there is no speech through the whole thing. It is a godsend. A godsend. Okay, this one says something, and then it says he won't listen here, or he can't listen. But either way, he's not listening because he's not hearing the V2K that they're trying to hit him with. Just amazing. There is just amazing stuff in this. And since he's away from people, I've shown you guys the signals from Seattle. I've shown you guys the signals from different cities, and they're always littered with signals. These signals aren't overlapping each other all crazy. There might be a couple, but it's not like in highly populated areas where there's a ton of them. It is just amazing. This clip is 7 minutes and 5 seconds to 7 minutes and 49 seconds. I've got it logged as. And we're just going to listen to it, and if anything pops out, I'm going to play it for you. But listen to this. It is just awesome. Let's play that part again right there. You think that was a squirrel or a Sasquatch? Brother, these are sound weapons. They were trying their hardest to get him freaked out and off course, get him to run, get him to panic, because that is what these operations work on. That is what these weapons work on. They work on fear. Whether they are hitting somebody in their home, whether they are hitting somebody that's at college in a dorm room trying to get somebody to do something crazy, or they are hitting somebody in the woods, they all rely on fear. And this guy was pretty damn calm through the whole thing, and he handled it perfectly. And I mean perfectly. And because of that, he didn't do anything stupid, and he didn't get himself thrown off course. So let's keep going. says right there, it says, hey, they're trying to get his attention. Just awesome. And there's no talking. I don't have to edit and go around the stuff or work around vocal frequencies. It's just awesome. This one is very hard because it almost has its own natural reverberation to it. But it sounds like it says quickly, trying to fucking hit him. But I'm just going to loop it. Just check it out.
Wow.
And I've picked up all kinds of different frequencies in this that I want to go over. This is technology, human technology. And I'm going to show you, this is 100% proof that at least half of these cases are weapons used against people. I even believe more, but I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to go with the facts and what I have. This one is awesome. This is right when he's walking, and I believe it's 5:51 before 29:43. I think this is around the time that he found his cigarette pack or a cigarette pack. Check this out. Right there. Says, I think I see him. So let's keep playing it. Now, does somebody really see you? No. The Eye of God weapon that people have been hearing about for years is an audio weapon. You get more information from sound than you do visual. You do. The Eye of God weapon is a giant microphone. It is a sonic ELF microphone. Let's play this again. So let's play this again. Right here. And then let's go back to this and play the I think I see him. They were trying to trick him. Whether he was hearing it or not, doubt it, because he didn't say that he was. Not that everybody would admit it, but I believe this guy to be 100% truthful in his video and what he was experiencing. And somebody said recently that you know, this evidence is anecdotal. You need frequencies. You need registered frequencies, and that's bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why. This is the evidence. This is the evidence because it piggybacks off frequencies. So it piggybacks off frequencies that are already there. And as a troll, that's the perfect thing to say, because when I come up with frequencies, they're typical cell and Wi-Fi frequencies, because that's what these frequencies are piggybacking off of. And ELF, and it's all hopping onto the power grid when you're in your home. When you're out here, these are different. And that's why this is such a godsend to have a video where someone isn't talking. But, yeah, having this as evidence is way better than showing some signals that are already there. I want you to check out this ELF communication. Now remember, this is in the woods, in the forest, out in the middle of nowhere. Check it out. Right there. That sounds like almost like CB talk. The high part, not the low part. Just amazing. Just amazing. I have been waiting for this for so long. This blows all this crap out of the water in what it is. This one says really low, you have to listen to it over and over. It says, "We have somebody." I'm going to loop it. We have somebody.
I'm gonna upload this.
It's just great stuff. Now, if you go to his channel and watch his video, he states all kinds of things happened to him. His battery got hot on his GoPro, so he couldn't record anymore. All these things happened to his technology. Why? Because they didn't want him having evidence. And even if people don't realize that there's evidence on the recording, if people like me get a hold of that recording, I can show you the evidence that is within it. And it doesn't take much with most of these at all. So, I want you to check this out. This is a long one. There's just 2 more clips, and then I'm going to wait for part 2 to show you the rest, because it's a lot to take in. I realize that. But let's check this out. Right there it says, "I think he's recording." You can hear the low voice. "I think he's recording." Do you think aliens or interdimensional creatures would be saying that? No. These are people. These are weapons. They weren't meant to be weapons originally, but what they can do now is if a bunch of people like us decide to run off grid, they can find you off grid. That's why in the Missing 411, the Hunted documentary, those guys that went out into Northern California and heard all that stuff, those were weapons, the original version 1.0 that was finding people off grid. They have been using these weapons for decades. Decades. This is the last one I'm going to show you guys. This is what it sounds like to me, and I listen to it a lot on headphones, on studio monitors, over and over. You can't just listen to this stuff and go, "Oh, well, that doesn't sound like that to me." You have to understand the inflection that is used. Get used to that robotic inflection. Get used to the way that these syllables and different things, sound elements, come out, and the way that it communicates for you to really understand it. You can't just listen to it once and think you've got it figured out. It takes a lot of time. And I've been working with this shit for basically a decade. Just this stuff. I've been working with frequencies since before I had facial hair. But with this stuff, you have to really, really understand it. And what it sounds like it's saying to me is, "I think he's just a young kid." And then it says, "We could use the practice." And then another voice says, "We could." Right there it says, "I think he's just a young kid. We could use the practice." I'm going to loop that. "We could use the practice. We could use the practice." So let's play it again. So this whole block right here is "I think." I think he's just a young kid. He's just a young kid. We can practice. So, there is a lot of stuff in this video. In the next one, part 2, I'm going to get into the hardcore stuff. But for now, that's all. And thank you to everybody that donated. It is hard to do this, come up with the gear, the time, make ends meet, do everything else. So everybody that's donated, I thank you so much. And with that said, Look out for Charlie.